Working with styles in Word. In this last segment of Working with Styles, we're going to be working with our Styles Inspector and working with how to copy styles from one file to the other using the organizer. Down here at the bottom of my task pane, you can see that the second button here is called Style Inspector. I'm going to click on it. The Styles Inspector task pane comes up. I can double click on it so that it anchors it over to the right side and go further here to a command that's actually one of my favorites. The first command, called Reveal Formatting, I'm going to click. And here we've got a Reveal Formatting task pane that tells me the entire story or all the formats that are set for every one of the paragraphs in our file. I'm going to close Style Inspector and even the Styles pane, so I'm left with Reveal Formatting. Here is the area I really want to point out. Formatting of selected text. Each one of these that are highlighted in blue and also have an underlined area are all hyperlinks. So for example, if I go to Font here and I click, I get right into the font dialog box, so I can start working with any one of these choices here in the font dialog box. Most importantly, under each one of these hyperlinks, it tells me exactly what formats are set for wherever my cursor is. So if I go over here to heading 2, you can see how it changes it so that it says heading 2 as the style, and watch when I click on a heading 1. It changes it so that it's reading heading 1. Most importantly, it's showing me all of the font formats that are set up for this style and all of the paragraph formats. Plus, it will even show me under section, and all I did was expand here by clicking on the plus sign. It becomes a minus sign. My margins, etc. So it's the whole story of formatting for wherever my cursor is. Very, very handy for you to go to Reveal Formatting in order to see the entire story, I call it, of what's happening behind the scenes or where the cursor is. I'm going to close Reveal Formatting and launch the Styles task pane yet again. This time go to my last choice here of the 3 commands at the bottom, Manage Styles. When I go into Manage Styles, you can see a lot of information on the screen. I really took us here for one purpose, and that is how to copy styles. In the bottom left-hand corner, I can click on Import Export, and when I do that, the Organizer dialog box comes up. I've got an opportunity to see 2 files at the same time in the left area and in the right area of this dialog box. When I click, for example, in the left area, you can see how the middle portion comes to life. Copy, delete, rename. So if I want to copy styles from one file to another, I need to have those 2 files in view on the left side and the right side. By default, the normal file is in view on the right side. Every file that's created in Word, unless you use another, will use the normal or blank template to do so. So you can, if you create new styles in one particular file, update the normal or blank template with that new style so that all new files that are created as a blank to start off with will have access to that new style that you created in one other file. If I want, I can simply go from any file to another file, and again having those 2 files in view. I'm going to close Normal and open up another file. And when I go, let's say, to my area here, instead of just a template, I can go to Word Documents. I can pull up any one of these files here, like my benefits file, and when I'm here, I can take, let's say, my style example that I created in my employee guide and copy it over to benefits. And when I've copied it over, you can see style example is here now. When I close and when I try to close, it asks me, do you want to save changes to benefits? Of course I do. I want to save because then when I go to benefits, I'm going to see that that file is now going to have style example ready and waiting for me to use in here if I like. Back at Employee Guide, I'm going to revisit one more time the Manage Styles dialog box. Here, if you'd rather, you can work with creating a new style just by clicking on New Style, and it takes us to Create New Style from Formatting dialog box. There's lots of other goodies when you're ready to work with under Manage Styles. So I encourage you, after this last segment, work with Manage Styles if you like. Go under Recommend, Restrict, Set Defaults if you're ready. Otherwise, the reason why we are under Manage Styles was purely for just importing, exporting, in other words, copying our styles from one file to another.